Welcome back. No, it's Major League Baseball, not NHL hockey. They had the Winter Classic on New Year's Day. Blackhawks hosting the Red Wings here. And I was at that game, Bob, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, I'd probably take this on opening day. The only difference, it might be a couple of degrees warmer. There was no rain on New Year's Day. In fact, they had to import some snow onto the field to make it look more wintry.
Well, if the temperature keeps dropping here today, they won't need to import snow. It will fall from the skies. Wind chill is bitterly, bitterly cold here today.
Umpires heading out to home plate. We'll have the exchange of the lineup cards here in a second. And here's how the Rockies will line up. They've hit 12 home runs, tied for the most in the majors. They lead the National League in runs. Fowler will lead it off. Spilborgh's Helton Atkins. Brad Hopp is out in right. Troy Tulowitzki at short. It's Jeff Baker at second. Chris Iannetta catching. Ubaldo Jimenez pitching. This is a homegrown lineup. Every one of those players has been either drafted or signed originally by the Rockies.
Let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively behind Ted Lilly. Brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Makeshift lineup today for Lou Piniella for the home opener. Soriano in left, Reed Johnson in center. Kosuke Fukudome moves back to right field. Fontenot will be filling in for Aramis Ramirez at third base. Aramis with a little back discomfort. Terrio at short. Aaron Miles at second base today. Derek Lee at his usual first base position. Coy Hill once again getting the nod today, and he'll be doing the catching for left-hander Ted Lilly.
The umpires, Andy Fletcher's going to work the plate. The crew chief, Tim McClellan. Ted Barrett at second. Greg Gibson at third. Andy Fletcher born in New Mexico, but he lives in Iowa. So not a huge deal with the weather for him today. His former Cub Glenn Allen Hill out there for the lineup exchange. He's their first base coach. Cubs have had their way with the Rockies the last 8 times they have met in this ballpark. Cubs have won all 8. Look at the starters earned run average for the Rockies. Ouch.
Kind of speaks to the Cubs offense here. Those last 8 ball games, they pounded this Rockies pitching staff. They're going to have their hands full today with Ubaldo Jimenez. However, as I mentioned a while ago, one of the best young right-handers in the game. On a given day, he can have no-hit stuff.
Clint Hurdle, the Rockies manager, his 8th season, his 7th full campaign, and his hitting coach is former Cubs manager Don Baylor. It's kind of interesting, Bob. Clint Hurdle at one time was Don Baylor's hitting coach. So they've swapped roles with the Rockies.
Well, and no surprise in Don Baylor's time as the manager of the Colorado Rockies, they were the Blake Street Bombers. They were known for hitting a lot of home runs, and they're certainly off at a breakneck pace this year, hitting home runs in the early going.
They're 3-3. And the Cubs come in at 4-2. And before we get this one started, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Carl Rice from the Cubs front office, keeping everyone up to date on the weather, has gone out to chat with the umpires. Good news is the Cubs are taking the field, but as much as we like Carl, I don't know if that's good or not. Having a weather update. It is drizzling at the moment. The wind is just howling in from the east. But the ballpark filling up. And I have a feeling the fans out on the Bud Light bleachers are already waterlogged. They've been out there for a couple of hours already.
Inside and out.
Programming note, make sure you join us at 12:30 Central Time on May 3rd for one number 2 legends, as the number 31 will be retired. Cubs will retire the number of both Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux before the Cubs host the Florida Marlins. That's coming up on May 3rd at 12:30 here on WGN Sports.
Ted Lilly taking the mound for his second start of the season. He beat the Astros last Wednesday. His line is not very pretty, but you have to keep in mind Ted Lilly had an 8-0 lead after 2 innings in that game, and in homer-friendly Minute Maid Park, he was just throwing strikes, trying to let his defense work behind him. He did give up some home runs, but brought home a victory.
Numbers aren't pretty against the Rockies in 4 career starts, a 7.56 earned run average, but he's won 2 of his 3 decisions. You know, there are many times against the Rockies you can't look at the ERA. You have to look at the record, going back to the pre-Humidor days at Coors Field.
Well, Ted Lilly being a fly ball pitcher, the conditions should work in his favor today, and I think any pitcher at the major league level would tell you they love to pitch on days like this. That inside part of the plate becomes theirs. Hitters just do not like that ball in on their hands on a day like this.
So we're ready to play ball. Switch batting Dexter Fowler. There's a couple of home runs early on. Going into spring training, he wasn't really on the radar. I mean, one of their top prospects, but he's grabbed a lot of time out in center for the Rockies. Fontenot playing in at third. This is the first ever major league game for Fontenot at third base. And we're underway. Ball 1 inside. He's in there with the stiff back for Ramirez. The wind and the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner.
Fowler would be a good guy to keep off the base. As you mentioned, the 2 home runs already in the early going this season. He's also a stolen base threat. He had a season of 43 stolen bases back in 06.
Just got a piece of it. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. The official game time temperature 36. And the wind is out of the east at 10. Feels more like 11 to me, but we'll go with the official number. I was talking about the temperature, not the wind speed. Swing and a miss. He was late. 1 out.
Well, that's an early in the game cold weather swing right there from Dexter Fowler. Just a fastball straight down the middle of the plate at the knees. Very stiff, awkward late swing by the youngster.
Here's Ryan Spilborghs playing left, moving over from center to give that extra time to Fowler. So we started about an hour and 12 minutes late. 0-2. The Rockies are third in the West. They won 2 of 3 to start the year in Arizona. Then they lost 2 of 3 at home against the Phillies. They had a golden chance yesterday. They could not hold an early 4-run lead and dropped the 7-5 decision. They had bullpen problems. Manny Corpus and Houston Street gave up late home runs.
And those figure to be their 2 late inning guys all season long. Corpus and Street setting up or closing. Right now it's Street closing with Corpus setting up, but that's open to change.
Did you say there's a street closing in the area?
Well, hopefully we won't see Houston Street in this series, because that would mean the Rockies did not have a lead late.
Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I realize it's only been 2 hitters, but it seems like Ted Lilly has better command already than he did in that start down in Houston.
A high fly ball deep to left. Soriano's on the warning track. Now back onto the grass. And he hauls it in.
Hey fans, for a limited time, head to McDonald's for a full meal for under $5. It's called the McDonald's Appetite Stimulus Package. Your choice of one of 4 tasty sandwiches, hot fries, plus an ice cold soft drink. A full meal for under $5. Prices and participation may vary.
Here's Todd Helton. Hard swing, and he fouled it off the hockey mask of the catcher, Coy Hill. Todd Helton has hit just .234, believe it or not, in this ballpark.
It's hard to believe there's any ballparks that Todd Helton hits that low, but certainly something to be said for the Cubs pitching staff and the way they've worked him here at Wrigley Field.
He hits .294 on the road, not like he's bad or anything. Reed Johnson coming over into left center, and he makes a catch, and the Rockies go down 1-2-3. Cubs coming up against Ubaldo Jimenez.
Why are you eating like that?
Like what?
A fancy pinky.
It adds to the whole truffle blizzard thing.
Come on.
Try it.
Fine.
Another spoonful, son.
It's heaven on earth. The new Midnight Truffle Blizzard. Decadent truffle pieces, cocoa fudge, and creamy DQ soft serve.
Schick Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, for your skin.
What are you doing, Bob?
I finally figured out how to get my lawnmower to sense precisely the speed I want to walk. It's going to be effortless.
Why don't you just get one of these?
Toro Personal Pace Technology. Mowing has never been easier.
Check. Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
My doctor told me something I never knew. As we get older, our bodies become less able to absorb calcium. He recommended Citracal. It's a different kind of calcium. Calcium citrate with vitamin D for unsurpassed absorption to nourish your bones.
Lou Pinella's Pepsi lineup for today's home opener against the Rockies, brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Some changes because of the day-to-day injuries. Soriano leading off, 4 homers already. Terrio red hot. Kosuke as well, batting .409, second in the league in slugging. Derek Lee trying to get it going, and here's the defense now for the Rockies.
Spielborg's in left. Dexter Fowler, the youngster, out there in center field, covers a lot of ground. Brad Hopp over in right field. Atkins, Tulowitzki, Baker, and Helton across the infield. Chris Iannetta behind the plate for right-hander Ubaldo Jimenez.
First pitch swinging, not a home run this time, but a foul ball hit by Soriano. Stolen base last night to go along with his home run, and he's now in pretty elite company. 250 homers, 250 steals. Ground ball, base hit into left. 19th player in Major League history. Andre Dawson, Ryan Sandberg, former Cubs, on that particular list.
For that rare combination of power and speed, all those guys, especially early in their respective careers, a threat to take you deep, and if they got a single like Alfonso Soriano did, also a threat to steal a base.
Well, maybe it'll be a small ball type day, considering the conditions. Ryan Terrio has hit in all 6. He has 11 hits and 5 straight 2-hit games.
Well, Lou hinted at that fact that he might have to play a little bit more small ball, hit and run, bunt and run, start some runners on stolen bases because of the absence of Soto and Bradley and Ramirez in the lineup today.
Soriano running, a swing and a miss by Terrio. Tag applied. They got him. So Chris Iannetta nails Soriano, who's now 2 for 3 on the year.
Looked like a broken hit and run. Soriano got a decent jump over there at first base, but Iannetta with plenty of time Throw was just a little bit high, but Baker able to go up the ladder, bring the tag down in time for the out at second base.
I'd see a few pitches like that too. On a rather sloppy day. Well, if Terrio can continue to hit .550, I think he'll continue to lead the league. It's going to go down as he grounds out to Todd Helton.
You don't think anybody will catch it, huh?
I don't. 2 outs. Here's Kosuke batting third for the very first time in the major leagues. I think he hit third a lot in Japan, but this is the first time in the majors.
Well, he's been swinging the bat like a number 3 hitter in the early going this season, spraying line drives to all fields, showing some power. And being a lot more aggressive, and he said he's doing that by design. Last year he was very patient. The word got around the league that this was a guy that rarely attacked early in the count. So he's picked his spots this year. Goes to the plate looking for a specific pitch on that first pitch, and if he gets it, he's rarely missed it.
Speaking of mist, it is lightly raining. And to vacate 2-1. It might rain the rest of the day. At this point, we're able to play through it.
And the field is in great shape, all things considered at this point, but as it continues to take water throughout the day, we'll see how the footing is on the mound and around the plate.
Called strike 2. And it's even up. Jimenez, 6'4", 200 pounds. 25 years old. Got the old school stirrups on. Shattered bad ground ball to the third baseman Atkins, and he'll throw to Helton, who digs it out. 3-time Gold Glover over there at first base. 0-0 after 1 from Wrigley.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's back pain relief orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's pain relief is a step away.
Cheez-It bakes so much real cheese in such small bites. People are wondering,
how does Cheez-It do it? I know.
Cheez-It.
Really? Yep.
Lots and lots of cheese baked into little bites. Cheez-It, the big cheese.
Watch the Cubs take on the Cardinals this Friday at 1:20. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 adults 21 and older will receive a Cubs W banner, compliments of Bud Light. Off day tomorrow. This series will wrap up Wednesday, and then the Cardinals are in for 4 starting Thursday. It's a 9-game homestand. The Reds are in next week. Garrett Atkins, the third baseman, breaks his bat and lines it foul out of play.
Not a good day to get those B's early. First swing of the game for Garrett Atkins, splits that bat lengthwise. His hands are going to be buzzing for a couple of innings. Well, that's the place to be, manning the grill today. Be the only warm place in Wrigleyville.
Cubs starters through the first 6 games rather, 3-0 with a 4.11 earned run average. The relievers 1-2 with a 3.86. But the big difference is the Cubs starters have walked 14 men in 36 innings. The relievers 13 walks in under 19 innings. That's been the big problem over the first week. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, number 2 for Lilly. And he'll face a lefty, Brad Hopp. They have 2 lefties in their lineup, Helton and Hopp.
Change up out over the plate, up a little bit, got the swinging strike. Their lefties have actually swung the bat pretty well against left-handed pitching in the early going this year. The Rockies have already faced 2 left-handed starters in the early going this season. Hopp 2 for 7. Helton was 3 for 7 coming into play today.
Yeah, they won both of those games. 5 of Hopp's 6 hits have been doubles. They give him room in the right center gap. Johnson shaded the other way. It's Jorge De La Rosa.
He's one of their starting pitchers, just getting some work on the side. Maybe because of the conditions today. Normally the starting pitcher gets his throwing out of the way before the ball game, but tarps were on the bullpen mounds and home plate areas before the game, so he had to wait till the game actually got started to get his throwing in.
On the left, Bob Apodaca, their pitching coach. Bill sliding toward the outside part of the plate, and a liner's caught by Aaron Miles. The only guy on the infield who's taller than 6 feet is the first baseman Derek Lee, but Aaron Miles showing some good hops.
Well, don't try to hit it over his head. Look at that vertical delete right there. Yeah, with Fontenot, Miles, and Terrio on the infield, that's about as small a threesome as you'll ever see. You can see Derek Lee in the foreground there trying to help Aaron Miles go up the ladder a little bit. That's kind of a common reaction for guys when one of their teammates needs to jump for a line drive. Everybody jumps just to help him.
Troy Tulowitzki coming off a tough injury-plagued sophomore season after that fantastic season the year before. And I think, Bob, we could say that about the Rockies in general. They finished 14 games under 500 last year following that incredible finish all the way to the World Series in 07. But Tulowitzki has already hit 3 home runs. Lilly with that slow wind-up, fouled back, 2-2.
And that's a key pitch for Ted Lilly, trying to cut that fastball inside to the right-handed hitters. Throughout the spring training season down in Arizona and the first start of the regular season, he just hasn't been able to run that fastball in as hard as he would like. A lot of them stray out over the plate.
Working from the third base side of the pitching rubber. Bill goes over to block what ends up being ball 3. Full count on Tulowitzki. Jeff Baker, the second baseman, will bat if Tulowitzki reaches. We're delayed by an hour and 12 minutes before the start of this one. And on the hands, we'll do it again. Probably won't see Carlos Marmol today. He had to work in all 3 games in Milwaukee. Cubs got in around 1 o'clock this morning. No batting practice on the field. Even if it were a 70-degree day, the Cubs would not have hit because of their late arrival. Called strike 3. Tulowitzki thought it was ball 4. That's 3 strikeouts and 6 straight sent down by Ted Lilly to start the game. Well, Andy Fletcher has the only opinion that matters. Nothing.
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep out on that street.
We're gonna see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner.
On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
Man, love that drinkability.
Drink a what?
Drinkability. It's what makes Bud Light so incredibly refreshing. It's like a wave of refreshment, gently washing over your whole body.
Let's get bigger.
Here comes the refreshment. That almost never happens.
Easy drinking, always refreshing. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
No hard feelings.
Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, for your skin.
Did you know the Honda Accord holds its value better than any other car in its class? And the reasons are simple. Its exceptional engineering can help lead to lower maintenance costs, and being a top safety pick can help lower insurance expenses. So what's the bottom line? The Accord costs less over the long term. And that's music to anyone's ears. Go to Edmunds.com for an independent report on the true cost to own an Accord. And then see your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
Underway in the last of the second. Derek Lee trying to get it going. He's 2 for 25. Does have 4 RBIs, including 2 last night when he didn't have a hit. How about the Cubs last night? 10 walks. 4 with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. They had 8 runs on 5 hits in their 8-5 win over the Brewers.
Now, Ken Maka probably slept about as well last night as Lou Piniella did the night before. Boy, there's nothing like your bullpen coming in and issuing 3 passes that makes a manager's night really tough.
3-1 on Lee. Mike Fontenot's on deck. Then Reed Johnson, the defensive hero, with a game-tying a grand slam saving catch. Lee takes the walk. Cubs fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape. For up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game. It's brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Hot tub. That'll work right about now.
Uh-huh. That bounced up there. Like Fontenot had a diving play in that ball game to retire J.J. Hardy and save a run after it took a little too long to throw to first with Prince Fielder running. Slide step, and the pitch is low. 2-0.
Yeah, Ubaldo Jimenez fastball will sit anywhere between 90 and 98 on a given day, depending on how he's feeling and the conditions. But when he uses that slide step, he loses a lot of velocity on that heater. Now, granted, it's something that pitchers in the major leagues need to do to break up their rhythm to home plate, give that runner a different look. But in Jimenez's case, it really takes off his fastball.
His first major league start, his second major league appearance, was here on October 1st of 06. Got a no decision. Went into the 7th. Gave up 4 runs, 3 were earned. The pitch missed again. So he's been behind the first 2 batters. 3-1 on Fontenot. There's Johnson on deck. Called strike, 3-2. Well, about 41,000 umpires didn't like that call, including the home team's manager. Medium lead by Lee. There he goes. Ball 4. He's walked the first 2. So the Cubs continue to show excellent patience.
Well, it's such a great combination, Len. We talked about it all summer last year. When you've got a powerful lineup like the Cubs feature on a daily basis, maybe not so much today because a couple of guys are missing, but if those guys also are willing to take pitches that are not in the strike zone, force that opposing pitcher to throw a boatload of pitches early in the ball game, it's just going to mean good things later on.
Big round of applause for Reed Johnson. Climbed up the wall to take away a grand slam from Prince Fielder that would have tied the game. With great sportsmanship shown by Fielder as he tipped his cap to Johnson. And Reed then later got on base. He got hit by a pitch right in the middle of the back. And he told Fielder, he said, "You probably don't want to hear this, but that's the first time I've ever done that."
That ball was hit high in the air. That was one good thing. It gave Reed Johnson plenty of time to get back there, time his leap perfectly, well over the fence, stealing that grand slam away from Prince Fielder. And as you mentioned, Fielder tipped his helmet. I think he really wanted to throw his helmet at Reed Johnson, but tipped his helmet.
Ryan Dempster's been on the mound for both highlight reel catches by Johnson, the one in Washington last year, and the bigger one, the more important one last night. Ryan got the win, 6 innings, 4 runs. And that was his first decision of the season. The last time Ryan was here was at the Winter Classic. Half swing strike, 1-2. Ryan's pumped up for the Blackhawks postseason run. They'll take on the Calgary Flames. Good chance here for the Cubs, and you want to take advantage of it on a day like this. You never know if we're going to finish 9 innings. Just reaches out and doinks that one out into center. A resourceful swing by Reed Johnson. That had a terrible sound off the bat, and the bases are loaded.
Boy, every hitter will tell you, you love to get knocks like these. He got fooled a little bit by a slider off the plate, just kind of flipped the bat out there. One-handed, as you said, made a terrible sound, but that's a thing of beauty right there. Little sand wedge over second base into shallow center field. Bases loaded.
For former Rocky Aaron Miles, who gets his first start. He's 3 for 5 against Jimenez. And what's going on here? The first base umpire and the crew chief, Tim McClellan, maybe telling Jimenez, you're doing something that you can't do.
Not sure what that was all about. The pitchers were both alerted before the game started that they were allowed to blow in their hands on this chilly day here at Wrigley Field, but apparently Tim McClellan noticed something that he wanted to correct before the game proceeded any further.
Fouled back by Miles.
The Rockies are willing to concede a run here with the possibility of turning a double play, playing their infield back all the way around with the exception of Atkins at third base.
Inside 1-1. Sometimes you bring a team in here and we talk about the weather advantage the home team has. Well, the Rockies played on a really cold day yesterday, and it can get pretty cold in Denver. We know that. And the Cubs just got here. They haven't played a game with this type of weather all year. They were in Arizona. Wasn't awful in New York. and then the domes in Houston and Milwaukee.
Well, even though you know as a Cubs player you're going to have days like this early in the season, until you actually step out of that clubhouse and come up the tunnel to the dugout and step out onto the field and feel that cold lake breeze blowing in your face, there's really no way to prepare for it.
Foul tip on the swing, 2-2. The Cubs had the best home record in the National League last year, 55-26. Most Wrigley Field wins since 1935. Jimenez in a jam, bases loaded, no outs. The kick and the 2-2 to Miles. He popped it up. And Atkins will make the catch in foul territory. It's a huge first out. And now he faces the 8-hitter Coy Hill. If he can get him, it'll be the pitcher Ted Lilly. So this is a key at bat for the Cubs.
Our highlight package that we showed you earlier from the Brewers series, Coy Hill with a 2-run home run to left center field in the second game of that series. You see the pitch count getting up there for Jimenez already. I don't think we're going to see any action to right field today. That wind is howling straight in, flags blowing from right toward the third baseline. You may get a little boost if you hit something down the left field line.
Coy ended up with the game-winning RBI last night with a bases loaded walk. That was in the fourth. First of 4 walks with the bases loaded. Jammed him that time. Great to be back with our WGN Sports home crew. Battling the elements. Time called by the home plate umpire. Hi, Pawsey. Go pause back. Jim Tianis. Yeah. Good block by Iannetta.
Yeah, I said there's no way the players can adequately prepare for opening day when it's like this, or the broadcasters for that matter. But those camera guys, I'm telling you what, some of the hardiest workers in America. Way to go, guys.
Mike Gentile. Frank D'Amato.
Short straw, huh, Frankie?
2-1 to Hill. Good eye, 3-1. This is what you love about Cub fans at Wrigley Field. Frigid day in April. It is opening day, but we're in the second inning and they're up. Strike 2. Sound the same Wednesday or Thursday or next Tuesday against the Reds. They're always up for a big situation. With 3-2 on the way, ball 4. He's forced in a run. That was the Cubs' MO last night against Jeff Suppan. And they get their first run without having to swing the bat. I'll tell you, Coy Hill has been terrific at the plate. I mean, he came in at 235, but the big home run, anything he gives you offensively with Soto out is gravy. And he's given the Cubs a lot of gravy. Bob, it sounds like Soto will probably be back in the lineup on Wednesday. He pinch hit in the 9th inning last night. In terms of Milton Bradley and Aramis Ramirez, I think the off day tomorrow's coming at a really good time for the Cubs.
Take a look at that ball 4 from our Southwest Sky Cam. Ubaldo Jimenez really struggling with this command early. Runs a fastball up and into Coy Hill, and the Cubs are on the board.
Better. Three walks and a bloop single in the inning. And here's Ted Lilly trying to help his own cause. Just doesn't want to hit into a double play. I will not force you to dissect or analyze that first swing.
I'm just surprised he's swinging at all, given the command problems that Ubaldo Jimenez is having out there on the mound. You know, other than Carlos Zambrano, I think every pitcher on this staff ought to take till they get a strike. And I was talking to Ted Lilly in Houston about that. I said, you know, you're a good low ball hitter. I mean, compared to swinging at something above the belt, you're better swinging at something below the belt. He carries his hands so low when the ball is delivered that I really think a pitch down around the knees is his best chance of getting a hit. Well, maybe not.
1-2.
I love to talk hitting with pitchers because they actually think they know what they're talking about.
I think the key to this at bat is that Alfonso Soriano gets a chance to hit in this inning, and he's on deck. And he will.
Given the alternative of putting the ball in play weakly and having a double play turn, that was a good at bat for Ted Lilly. You feel like you're going to hit it with double play, strike out.
He singled in the first and then was caught stealing. He's driven in 7 already, and he has 3 runners on base with 2 outs. Here we go. Ground ball foul past the third base coach, Mike Quaddy.
I think Alfonso Soriano is going to see a lot of first pitch breaking balls, given his aggressiveness at the plate and the success he's had already in the early going this season attacking that first pitch. I don't think too many teams are going to be willing to lay a fastball in there.
Jimenez with a 1-1. That's low. 2-1. Three times in his career he's hit the ball out of the park with the bases loaded. 2-1. He got under it. And Todd Helton will not have room. Tell you, hit one high enough here, you're going to lose it in the fog.
Yeah, Helton was off by 1 section there. He went over to the tarp in foul territory down that first baseline, and the wind blew that ball all the way back behind the Rockies dugout.
Mike Clay with the winter and rain gear on. 2-2 to Soriano. A swing and a miss to end the inning. Well, they got 1. Could have had more. It's 1-0 after 2.
May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung.
more than they'll ever know. For Dada. For Daddy.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
For Dad. For Pops. And for the love your kids give you, there's one special gift. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
I absolutely love playing badminton. Started playing after 30 years again. It's wonderful. It keeps me young. My shoulder sometimes hurts, and my doctor said I was overusing my knees. And I said, well, that's not the answer I want to hear. A leave makes me pain-free, so I can move on the court. And you can't play this game if you can't move on the court and get to the bird and return it. I'm Anne-Marie Donahoe, and with a leave, I'll never stop playing badminton.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Another go-ahead RBI on a bases-loaded walk for Coy Hill. 2 games in a row for him.
Going to be a busy day for the grounds crew today. Guys were out with that absorbent material on the mound, spreading it around. We talked about it earlier. Really, the 2 areas you're concerned the most with are the pitcher's mound and the home plate area. As long as you can keep the footing good in those 2 locations, everything else should be okay.
The turf is all new. They resodded everything after the Winter Classic. I was chatting with Rick Fuse, a scoreboard operator and a member of the grounds crew. And the field looks great. It's good to see some green grass in the Chicago area.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's not the old infield grass at Wrigley Field, because we'd lose our infielders. Fontenot, Terrio, and Aaron Miles, they used to let that infield grass grow up to about your knees, and those guys would disappear.
Here's Jeff Baker, 3rd starting second baseman they've had. Ian Stewart, Clint Barmas, and now Jeff Baker. Barmas has gotten most of the time. Baker played most of his games at second last season. He had never played that position before in the majors prior to 2008.
Baker had himself a real good offensive spring. Hit .345 with a couple of home runs. Drove in 8 down in the Cactus League.
The knees 2-2.
Probably shouldn't even point out spring training numbers anymore now that we're a week into the season, but sometimes you wonder how a guy earned his spot on the roster. Those spring training numbers certainly would explain it for Jeff Baker.
Ted Lilly with 17 wins last year, 92 in the major leagues. 33 now as a Cub. Kosuke in his pretty familiar position from last year. What a route that was.
Oh, goodness. All's well that ends well. Talk about surrounding a fly ball. Kosuke came in, then he went to his left, then he went back, then he went to his right. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 3, 4, cha-cha-cha.
Well, eventually it'll be Milton Bradley to navigate the wind and the other weather conditions and the nooks and crannies out there in right. Outside, ball 1 to Chris Iannetta. Changeup is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Checked his swing and it missed. 3-0. You were telling me about this. I didn't get a chance to get into the dugout, but
they took out the
the
old water fountain that used to be in the Cubs dugout on that third base side, and put in a fountain over there.
Do players have to sign a waiver that they won't take a bat to that particular item?
I give that machine till June 9th. That's my over-under date.
Ball 4, and that will be the first Rockies runner. Now there's the jug. You'd rather have a guy take it out in a plastic Gatorade jug. Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports link. Look for Len and Bob's baseball blog. On the blog today, Bob has a post on the just completed series in Milwaukee. We'll have a list of the 7th inning stretch singers as Jimenez bunts. Diving attempt by Lilly. Came up short, but the throw to Miles is in time. And a heads-up play by Ryan Theriot as Fontenot had come in from third. And Theriot saw that Iannetta might take off for an extra base. It'll be a sacrifice for the pitcher.
Nice effort there by Ted Lilly trying to snare that bunt in the air. But an even nicer play to keep his wits about him when he didn't make the catch. Kind of rolled over the baseball, gets to it quickly with the bare hand and throws on for the force out. And you mentioned Theriot rotating around. That's just a case of field awareness. You have to know where your teammates are on a given play, what they're likely to do. And realize when there's a vacancy created that somebody's got to cover up. Ted Lilly got a sleeve full of water as he dove on the infield for that bunt.
He faces Fowler. I mean, the burgers look good, but the fire looks better. The heaters are working in the booth. That's the good news. Well, we started at 36 degrees today. One strike on the switch hitting Dexter Fowler. Off the inside corner. There's Iannetta at second. First base runner for the Rockies. Fowler, a 14th round pick in 2004 from Atlanta, Georgia. Open stance from the right side. It's upstairs 2-1.
Well, Fowler probably would have been a much higher draft pick, but he had signed a letter of intent to go to the University of Miami and play baseball, and I think it scared some teams off of him, but the Rockies were willing to take a chance with their 14th round pick, and here he is in the big leagues.
Way late on that swing. Giovanni Soto likely available as a pinch hitter. Chatting with Joey Gathright and David Patton, who obviously didn't get a lot of sleep. And Fowler, I mean, going back to spring training, got off to a really bad start, like 3 for 20 with 10 punch-outs, but then really got it going in the spring. But he swings and misses as Ted Lilly picks up his 4th strikeout. And the Cubs lead midway in the third, 1-0.
Disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, for your skin.
Hi, what can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this? You can get out. How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow. Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach. To the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, third time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Cubs 1, Rockies nothing. As the Cubs will bat in the bottom of the third, Terrio, Fukudome, and Lee due up. They sent 7 to the plate in the second against Ubaldo Jimenez. Jason Marquis, the former Cub, will take the ball for the Rockies on Wednesday. Rich Harden for the Cubs. And at this point, looks like Sean Marshall will get his start on Thursday after a couple of relief outings on the road trip. That'll be against St. Louis. Terrio didn't pull the bat back in time. Strike 1.
That's a good day to try to bunt for a base hit. The steady mist that's falling here at Wrigley Field has to make that grass awfully wet. If you can get that ball to roll down that third baseline in the grass for any amount of time, that's going to be a tough play for the third baseman.
Fortunately, our pitch speed gun got wet. Has been rendered inoperable. That one was fast.
94.
1 and 2. That one almost hit our home plate microphone. And is working quickly. Foul tip, strike 3. Here comes Fukudome, who's been a lot more aggressive than he knows the league after his rookie season. Seen him jump on some early pitches. Called strike.
Given his history last year and the patience that he showed at the plate, I think it's a good idea to come out being aggressive and swinging at early strikes. The key is, when do you make the adjustment once again? We talk about adjustments in the game of baseball all the time, but if you're an aggressive hitter early in the season, swinging a lot of first and second pitches, the word gets around. So at some point, maybe you go to the plate and start to tell yourself, I'm going to take a strike. I'm going to try to work a deeper count. And then about the time the team start challenging you again, you turn it around and become aggressive. The key is always to stay one step ahead of your opponent. When they make the adjustment, you're already ready for it.
There are buildings back there, believe us. Let me tell you, 3 and 2 on Kosuke. Somewhere off in the distance, our podcast studios are still being touched up.
Where the finishing work just never ends.
The economy.
Well, and as technology changes, some of the stuff became outdated before we even had the chance to move in and use it. So we want to make sure we're as cutting edge as possible.
Ball 4. There's the patient approach from Kosuke to draw the 4th Cubs walk. Lee with 1 out and a runner on. Double milestones today for the White Sox in Detroit. Back-to-back homers from Jermaine Dye and Paul Konerko, each hitting their 300th home run. How about that?
Something.
They lead Detroit 10-6 in the ninth. Called strike. Well, it's been a struggle for the Houston Astros. They have one win in their first 6, and they're down 6-0 at Pittsburgh in the 8th. The 0-6 Nationals trailing at home against the Phillies 4-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Driven to the gap for Derek Lee. We'll see if Fukudome can score. Bangs off the door. And Mike Quaddy's going to hold up Kosuke at third as the Rockies get it back in quickly. That's a double for Lee. His second extra base hit of the year. He's reached twice today. You know, early in his career, he was a very cold April batter. And Cubs fans were on him in 2004 when he got traded here. But the last few years, he's been really good in April.
And really good to see Derek Lee pulling that ball to the gap in left center field. A lot of his base hits early in the season last year came the opposite way. This time he just buggy whips that ball into the gap. Unfortunately, the Rockies got a pretty good carom off the wall out there in left center field, and Mike Quaddy had no choice but to throw up the stop sign for Fukudome at third.
For Derek, it's his 126th career start in the cleanup spot. He's there because Ramirez and Bradley are both out of the lineup. This would be a really nice win if you can get it without those two guys and your all-star catcher. 3 all-stars from last year all out of the lineup. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Inside corner. Great shot from the top of the scoreboard and center. Second and third, 1 out. The 1-2 to Fontenot is blocked by Iannetta. He's had a good day defensively. A caught stealing and a couple of nice blocks.
I'll tell you, when Ubaldo Jimenez is off of his game as he is today, you've got to be a very active catcher back there behind the plate. He throws his fastball extremely hard. You've got to be able to react from one side of the plate to the other. This time a splitter that hit well out in front of home plate over near the right-handed batter's box, and Iannetta does a great job of shifting over there and blocking that ball.
Another 3-ball count, 3-2. Jimenez threw 35 pitches in the second inning. He's piling them up here in the third. Strikes out Fontenot. So 2 outs. It's up to Reed Johnson. That's a big out for Jimenez.
In with the 3-2 slide with the same pitch that he got Ryan Theriot to start this inning. Looks like Carlos Marmol, it looks like, at least for today, when Jimenez feels he needs to throw a strike, the slider is his go-to pitch.
Johnson poked a blooper into center off the end of the bat for a hit his first time up. Ryan Dempster said he's going to buy him some Culvers. for those 2 great catches.
Maybe later this summer, huh?
Maybe one of those big custard Oreo sandwiches we had in spring training. Tastes good no matter how cold it is. Fouled off, 0-2.
A 2-strike count. If you're the runner at third base, you really have to be on your toes here. We've seen Jimenez a little scatter-armed with his command today. He likes to go to that split finger when he's ahead in the count. Be aware of a ball in the dirt.
He's up around 70 pitches already. The kick and the 0-2, 1-2. He and Aaron Cook last year became the first 2 Rockies right-handers to win at least 10 games with a sub-4 ERA. Jimenez was at .399 last season. Made 34 starts, 4 out shy of 200 innings. Another block by Iannetta, 2-2.
And the reason Jimenez was able to keep that ERA under 4 was the fact that he pitched so good at home last year. 7-4 with a .331 ERA, pitching at altitude in Colorado. 5-8 with a .472 on the road.
Now, he has been a lot better at home. Johnson gets hit for the 2nd straight game. That one I think hurt a little more than last night. We got a hit right on the number by Jorge Julio.
Looked like I caught him on the triceps area of the left arm, just above the elbow. He wears that protective guard on the elbow. Looked like that one caught him a little bit above it.
Well, he gets hit a lot.
And he's made a slight adjustment in his stance at the plate. We talked about it last year. He moved off the plate a few more inches than he normally used to stand. He used to hang right over that inside corner and get hit quite often.
From 03 to 08, hit 92 times. 3rd in the majors behind Jason Kendall and Jason Giambi. So it's Miles batting again with the bases loaded. Aaron fouled out to third base with the bases loaded, no outs in the last inning. A 1-0 is inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Take at least 1, if not 2, here for Aaron Miles.
Now, the take 2 would seem to make the most sense given the struggles of Jimenez out there on the mound, and the fact if you run the count to full with 2 outs and the bases loaded, the runners are going to be on the move as the pitch is delivered, a chance to clear the bases with an extra base hit.
Fly ball left field. Spilborg's over. Foul territory, makes a catch as he runs into the padding. Tough start for Aaron Miles. He's left 6 on base. It's 1-0 Cubs after 3.
You can buff up, clean up, but you can't cover up that bald spot. Instead of hiding it, solve it with Men's Rogaine Foam. In clinical testing, 85% of men regrew hair. Men's Rogaine Foam. Use it or lose it.
Whoa! That must be the coolest job in the world.
Actually, kid, I'm a fighter pilot. He's the lawn pro.
Mow like the pros and cut your mowing time in half with the Toro Time Cutter Z.
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's back pain relief orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's pain relief is a step away.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawet is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawet is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawet can help you go for both your goals.
Pretty powerful stuff.
Wow.
I know.
Here is no limit.
Unbelievable!
Time now to look at our high-def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. Some of these fans have been sitting out here in the mist and the cold since 11 o'clock this morning. I've been waiting 6 months. What's a little bit of rain? Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast.
It's either dirt or a bunch of ants who have taken a nap. Look at that. Spielborgs, Helton, Atkins. First pitch is on the outside corner. Todd Helton in the on-deck circle. He tries to sneak as close to home plate as the umpire will allow him. There is an on-deck circle, but he's a good 7 or 8 feet away from it.
He's been warned to get back closer to the on-deck circle in the past. He'll, like you said, Len, he'll try to sneak over there, especially behind the catcher and the umpire, to try to get an angle on that pitcher and more closely observe his release point, try to see if he can pick anything up from Ted Lilly.
He's getting closer. Every time he takes a swing, he inches a little closer. 2-2 on Spielborgs. He has 5 doubles. They lead the league in runs early on. Fly ball deep to left. Soriano's on the track. And the out recorded. Best hit ball we've seen by a Rocky. That's a long fly out. Plan your next corporate function or family gathering in the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. Be sure to ask about the April and May incentives. To book your suite or for more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-Cubs.
Ooh,
nice
a knee buckler, yeah. Ball starts right at Todd Helton's head, drops right over the inside part of the plate.
0-2. Todd Helton had back surgery just after the season. Just 83 games last year. Only 2 games after July 2nd because of the lower back strain. He has first ballot Hall of Fame numbers. Pitch count for Lilly, not bad. Just over 50 here in the 4th. Popped him up.
Stay with it.
Oh, man, that was interesting. It's caught by Fontenot. I thought Aaron Miles might catch that ball over on the other side of the infield.
It was headed that direction, but as that pop-up got to its apex, that wind really started to push it toward the third baseline. And keep your feet moving as an infielder or an outfielder on balls hit in the air today.
Two outs. It's Atkins, the third baseman. He struck out swinging to start the second. Todd Helton is one of 5 players to have a .325 batting average, a .400 on base percentage, and a .570 slugging percentage. The other 4 guys, Gehrig, Ruth, Williams, and Pujols. But here's the question: 5 years after Todd Helton retires, is he a shoe-in, or does somebody look at it and go, yeah, but half his games were in Colorado? I mean, we showed you the numbers. He's hit over .290 on the road. Not like he's been terrible.
I don't know how you can penalize a player for playing in a city that's in the major leagues. It's not like he chose to go to Colorado and refused to play anywhere else. That's just the luck of the draw.
If I had a vote, and I don't, he'd be a first ballot guy for me. And 3 Gold Gloves defensively. Right center. Fukudome calls off Johnson, who slides behind him just in case. And that's the inning. Ted Lilly's given up 1 base runner. That was a 1-out walk in the third, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
What are you eating?
Multigrain Cheerios.
So, trying to watch your weight?
No, why?
Nothing, it's just the box. It says it's low in fat.
Do I look like I need to watch my weight?
No. It just says it has 110 calories per serving.
Yeah, but there are other reasons why I like it.
I know. It's the box.
What else does the box say?
Box says shut up, Steve.
Multigrain Cheerios cereal, because it tastes good. Try new Banana Nut Cheerios with the great taste of real banana.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
Okay, maybe it was my fault.
She told me to kill the weeds.
And you did, along with the grass.
I used the wrong stuff.
Oh, there were dead spots everywhere.
This is the right stuff. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. It kills weeds down to the root. Even the tough ones like dandelion and crabgrass.
Yeah, but unlike that other stuff, it won't kill the grass. Ortho guarantees it. Kill the weeds, not the lawn.
Weeds, not lawn.
Got it?
Yeah. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max.
Defend what's yours.
We are email savvy. Got our computers protected from the conditions. You can shoot us an email at WGNCubsTV@AOL.com. Coy Hill with a bases loaded walk to provide the only run to this point. As we play the last of the 4th, he taps it foul to Matt Sinatra, the first base coach. Yes, I have my, it's not mine. It's our executive producer, Bob Borwald's Masters towel. I think it's clean. I know it's dry. Protecting the computer today.
That's the one Kenny Perry cried on yesterday.
You watched every shot, didn't you?
Man, let me tell you something. I got a real nice high-def TV at home for the first time in my life, and I was mesmerized by that golf course.
Coy Hill with a base hit. We want to send happy birthday wishes to lifelong Cub fan living on the south side of Blue Island, Illinois, turning 90 today, Dan Signor. Happy 90th to Dan. We also welcome new Cubs fan Evan Kyler Marshall, born in Dodge City, Kansas today. To Cassie and Philip Marshall, all watching the game on WGN. And our best wishes to longtime Cubs fan Scott Taxer, who never misses an opening day, but today on the mend and watching from the hospital. Get better soon, Scott. Get back here to Wrigley soon. It's a bunt situation for the pitcher, Ted Lilly. Cornermen weigh in, and he takes it for ball 1.
Also like to extend happy anniversary wishes to my in-laws, Jack and Janet Muskimmons, back in Coshocton, Ohio. Tomorrow we'll be celebrating their 58th wedding anniversary. Raised 5 beautiful children, one of which I stole away from them.
2-0. Ted has shown a much better eye at the plate trying to lay down a bunt than in the swinging away situation with the bases loaded his last time up. Cornerman again. That's a strike. 2-1. Atkins and Helton end up about 30 feet from home plate, and that pitch hits the mitt.
Well, you mentioned Helton's 3 Gold Gloves over there at first base, and for my money, he's the most aggressive first baseman in the game today. He reminds me of Keith Hernandez, former Met, former Cardinal, the way he plays that position defensively.
Well, now it changes things. I mean, Ted's probably going to try to do it again, but there are 2 strikes. He was really hoping to get that call on his side. He squares and takes it high. 3-2.
Different personnel. You might see the runner at first on the move here and let Ted Lilly go ahead and swing away at the full count pitch, but I think he's still bunting. I think Coy Hill's just going to hold his ground.
And he walks. So Ted squared the bunt 6 times, and he didn't offer it any of them. And it paid off. It's 15 walks for the Cubs and 3 hit batters the last 2 games. Well, that's huge, Bob. I mean, they have 4 hits. They had only 5 last night, but they scored 8 runs. Get those free base runners.
And obviously, getting runners on base helps you score runs. And in those times of the season where your offense is not clicking the way you would like it, if you're still getting guys on base and opening some holes in the defense, creating opportunities, well, you can still score some runs even though you're not swinging the bats as well as you'd like.
Former Cub Glendon Rush in a rush to get out to the bullpen, and he's up quickly. Two on, no outs. Top of the order. Ooh. Tough strike. 1-1 on Soriano.
You might as well take that pitch, because if you swing at it, nothing good is going to happen. That's a fastball, bottom of the kneecaps, edge of the outside corner.
Foul pop out of play. And the reason Rush is up, 2 reasons. Number 1, Jimenez is not throwing strikes, but number 2, he's over 90 pitches now. And we're only in the 4th. There's not a good ratio of strikes to balls. Almost 1-to-1. Swing and a miss, and Soriano is retired. Terrio will come up. Jimenez has made some big pitches today when he's had to. Big strikeouts.
Just a teaser slider off of that outside corner. He's had so much trouble getting ahead in the count to the Cubs hitters, but when he does get ahead in the count, he's got a couple of different put-away pitches. That hard slider low and away from the righty, and the splitter down low to the lefties.
Quiet start for Terrio. At least for him, 0 for 2. Came in leading the league in average and on base percentage. His average has gone down 50 points.
Fortunate foul ball right there. Chris Iannetta was winding up for a pickoff attempt at first base. Todd Helton had snuck in behind Ted Lilly. First base coach Matt Sinatra was all over it, though. Alerted Lilly that Helton was coming behind him, and Ontario fouled the ball out of play. No damage done. Hey, you know, Len, people like to blame the first base coach every time somebody gets out at first base on a pickoff attempt or whatever the case may be, but the reality is the only time a first base coach really needs to help that runner is in a situation like this where the first baseman's playing behind. Obviously, the runner doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, so that first base coach has to position himself such that he can see whether that first baseman breaks in behind, and he'll warn the runner. Everything else is in front of the base runner. That's all his responsibility. Yeah, if the base runner at first is picked off by the pitcher or the catcher in a situation where they're holding him on the bag, it's the base runner's fault. It's not the first base coach's fault.
Cubs have had a lot of runners the last 3 innings. Floater missed to make it 2-2. Let's see Kosuke through the condensation and the haze here at Wrigley. Bounced foul. Again, those conditions have taken our pitch speed gun out of commission.
Come over to my apartment today. We'll watch the game from my top floor window. Oh, no, you won't.
We'll watch it on WGN Sports. Dial back.
Well, it may be a cold, wet day here in Wrigleyville, but it certainly didn't dampen the fans' enthusiasm this morning. As you well know, Len, we got here very early, and the streets were buzzing this morning.
Hit hard, but Tulowitzki will flip to Baker, and the throw gets by Helton, and the Cubs will get a run. It's 2-0 as Coy Hill scores on what should have been a double play.
Boy, a very casual turn out there at second base by Jeff Baker. Ball was hit relatively hard right to Tulowitzki on a hop. He looked like he had all the time in the world. Just kind of lollipopped that ball in the dirt to Helton, who's normally very sure-handed on those short hops, but couldn't come up with it this time. The Cubs push across another run. That may have been the wet dirt over there at first base. That ball did not come up as much as Helton thought it was going to.
The error will go on Baker, allowing the run to score. It's a fielder's choice for Terrio. And it's 2-zip. It's a big break for the Cubs. It looked like Jimenez was going to escape again. Terrio getting dirty. Fukudome at the plate. 2 outs. Well, a balk called. Tim McClellan calls a balk on Jimenez, who just about picked off Terrio at first, but now we know why.
We'll have the advantage of the replay here. Yeah, the front knee, the left knee for Jimenez buckled first. That's usually an indicator to a runner that you can go ahead and take your secondary lead or break for second base. And the sneaky pitchers, the guys that can do it, you buckle that front knee just a split second before you step off the rubber, and sometimes you catch that base runner leaning the wrong way, but it's a balk.
Let's check in on who's moving forward with Toyota. Kosuke Fukudome is moving forward. And an excellent road trip. 9 hits and 19 at-bats, tied his career high on Wednesday in Houston. It's today's Toyota moving forward thanks to Toyota. 0-1 to Kosuke. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fukudome and Terrio and Soriano piling up the hits early on. Mike Fontenot off to an excellent start as well. Three and one. Kosuke came into today 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Jimenez. He's 0 for 1, but he did walk his last time up, and he's in a hitter's count here. There's a Ramos with the stiff back. This is not the sort of day you want to test it. Ball 4. He's walked another. His 6th free pass. Clint Hurdle's out, and with Derek Lee, a right-handed hitter, coming up, he's still going to go with the lefty, Glendon Rush. So Derek might see a heavy dose of changeups here from the former Cub. As Jimenez is done, Cubs lead 2-0 in the 4th.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach. To the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, 3rd time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep out on that street.
We're gonna see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner. On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF. 2 on, 2 down. Glendon Rush against Derek Lee. Fastball caught the outside corner. He throws that 4-seamer to set up his changeup. Nice comeback story for Glendon Rush. Suffered a blood clot while he was a member of the Cubs. Was in late 2006. Did not play in 2007. Last year split the year between the Padres and the Rockies. He's been with a lot of different teams. When it's all said and done, I think he'll consider himself a Cub. He loved being a Chicago Cub. In on his hands, still 2 strikes. One of the really good guys in the game of baseball. But it's all business now as his former teammates trying to drive in a couple runs.
Well, they'll like him again in about 3 hours, but right now he's the enemy.
Off the plate inside.
And no secrets to Glendon Rush. He's, as you said, he's been around for a long time. He tries to move that fastball in and up in the zone to give you a different look, and then throw the changeup down low and away.
Looks like Glendon's lost a little weight. Just missed the corner. 2-2.
Derek, a .385 lifetime hitter against Glendon Rush with a couple of home runs. Also 8 strikeouts, however. I think that goes straight to that changeup you were talking about.
Time called. Derek had something in his eye. Barely got the call from the home plate umpire, Andy Fletcher.
Well, that's another thing we know about Glendon Rush. He works extremely fast.
A kick and the 2-2 hit foul. Cubs have all the hits in this game, 4 of them. They've also taken 6 walks. Out into right center, and it's going to get down, and the Cubs are going to get another run. The throw's going to come into second as Terrio scores. Derek Lee, 2 for 2. His 5th RBI. It's 3-zip. And remember, this inning continued on a throwing error on what should have been an inning double play.
And that was the changeup down low and away. That's just a protect swing and a 2-strike count. Derek hit it off the end of the bat, but dunked it perfectly into right center field to plate another run.
It was Baker who committed the error, allowing Croy Hill to score and keep that inning alive for Fukudome, who walked and knocked Jimenez out of the game. Fukudome ended up at third on that base hit. And Rush faces Mike Fontenot. Ball 1. Make him pay. Those are the 3 words you hear when a team commits an error like the one we've seen this half inning. Right back to Rush to end the inning. But 2 runs unearned for the Cubs, and they stretch their lead to 3 as we head to the 5th.
That hits the spot. It's drinkability. It means Bud Light is good wherever you are. If you're at a party, or playing golf, like those guys, or at the bar. Draw another door. Don't say draw.
Never filling, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
7 aces.
What are you doing, Bob?
I finally figured out how to get my lawnmower to sense precisely the speed I want to walk. It's going to be effortless. You see, it can read my mind.
Oh. Why don't you just get one of these?
Toro personal pace technology. Mowing has never been easier. Visit a Toro retailer or Toro.com to learn more.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Why are you eating like that?
Like what?
A fancy pinky.
It adds to the whole truffle blizzard thing.
Come on.
Try it.
Fine.
Another spoonful, son.
It's heaven on earth. The new Midnight Truffle Blizzard. Decadent truffle pieces, cocoa fudge, and creamy DQ soft serve.
Well, the Cubs adding a couple of runs. Let me correct myself. They all were earned. Those 2 runs were earned. Ryan Terrio hitting into a fielder's choice because I think it's because you can't assume a double play, even though there was an error. Derek Lee coming up with a big base hit. And that would have scored 2 anyway, so those 3 runs are earned as Tim McClellan, the crew chief, is having a less than friendly discussion with Clint Hurdle, and Clint is gone for the day. He has been tossed out. Now he'll really get his money's worth.
I'm not sure what precipitated that argument over there, but Hurdle went all the way down to the far end of that first base dugout to make sure McClellan can hear him. And then just to make sure he could hear him properly, McClellan came all the way over to the dugout. There was a lot of barking going on down there before the ejection. Oh, brother.
Come on, let's go. You could read Tim McClellan's lips.
And after you've been ejected, the longer you stay out there, the fine just, it's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It looked like they each had their say, and then McClellan started to walk away, and Hurdle continued, and that's when he said that'll be about enough.
Was he pointing in his eyes? It was a gesture there by Clint. And
well, once you get ejected from a ball game, you're expected to leave the playing field and the dugout in a timely fashion, and the longer you stay out there and argue, the more the fine tends to run up.
So Hurdle will have to watch the rest of the game on Clubhouse Television, and Jim Tracy, former big league manager, the bench coach, former Cub, will likely take over the acting managerial duties. It's 2-0 meanwhile on Brad Hobb. Make it 2-1. It's a good time to tell the Jim Tracy story. After this Lilly 2-1 pitch, half swing, 2-2. Interesting moment from spring training. You'll appreciate this, Bob. Jim's son Chad, playing for the Rangers, hit a grand slam against the Rockies. Jim called it an unbelievable moment. Apparently Ron Washington called up Chad Tracy from minor league camp because he would have a chance to play in front of his father. Neat moment.
Oh, that was great.
Full count.
Tracy's son was an All-American catcher at Pepperdine University.
Got him. Called strike 3. Rockies are really frustrated right now. Ted Lilly on his game. That's his 5th K. More jawing from that visitor's dugout at Andy Fletcher this time.
There have been some unusual calls, and from our Southwest spy cam, you see Coy Hill sitting on that outside corner. Ted Lilly threads the needle there. In the estimation of the home plate umpire Andy Fletcher. Been some borderline calls, especially on low pitches, both inside and outside.
Do we know who the interim to the interim manager is for the Rockies? We may have to find out. Tracy's not real pleased. 1-1. Hill slides off the inside corner, and it's popped foul. Back to the seats. We started an hour and 12 minutes late. We have played uninterrupted since. Ted Lilly gave up 4 home runs, working with a big early lead in his season debut. And a lot sharper today. And as you said right off the top, pitching on what should be his kind of day as a fly ball pitcher.
Still having some trouble consistently getting that fastball inside to the right-handed hitters. The last 2 pitches both have been fastballs inside that strayed back over the heart of the plate. Fortunately, no damage done.
Well, you should be able to make a mistake or two today, unlike in Houston, especially to a righty. You make a mistake, it's in the Crawford boxes. Full count on Tulowitzki.
I'll tell you, when Ted Lilly has all of his pitches working, he gives hitters so many different looks. He can throw that fastball on both sides of the plate. It has a little more tailing action when it's away from a right-handed hitter. He'll throw that slider to both sides of the plate.
Knocks it down, and he'll get Tulowitzki.
We've seen him mix in just enough of the big overhand curveballs to plant a seed in the Rockies hitters' minds. Got that great straight changeup. Good trip to the mound by Coy Hill and Ryan Theriot just to make sure their pitcher's okay. Didn't field that ball cleanly, but was able to knock it down and recover in plenty of time to get the out. Sometimes fielding your position doesn't mean making gold glove plays. It just means knocking the ball down, staying with it, and getting the out.
Jeff Baker with 2 outs and nobody on at the knees. Last time Ted Lilly pitched here, he clinched the division against the Cardinals. Four straight wins to finish up the regular season, and then unfortunately did not get into the division series against the Dodgers because the Cubs were swept. You rarely see a starting pitcher in need of a major laundry job on the trousers. Ted left his feet earlier. 2-2.
Well, that's a perfect example of using off-speed pitches to set up your fastball. He had thrown back-to-back changeups in the dirt to run the count to 2-1, and then just came right down the middle of the plate with a fastball that appeared to catch Baker by surprise.
Swing and a miss. He's gone through 5 and has allowed just a walk to Chris Iannetta. And the Cubs lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
How can a dinner party this last minute be this well done? And how can a beer this full flavored be just 99 calories? Budweiser Select, the exception to the rule.
My doctor told me something I never knew. As we get older, our bodies become less able to absorb calcium. He recommended Citracal. It's a different kind of calcium. Calcium citrate with vitamin D for unsurpassed absorption to nourish your bones.
So, he was meeting my friends for the first time. We knew the perfect place to go.
So, we've heard a lot about you.
All good, all good.
I guess I did okay.
I knew they'd love him.
Try Olive Garden's new lasagna rollatini with pan-seared chicken. Oven-baked lasagna rolls stuffed with 4 Italian cheeses and fontina cream sauce. Or try it with savory sausage and tomato Alfredo, starting at $9.95 with unlimited salad and breadsticks.
It's a great time and good practice for my parents.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
My doctor told me I had to start doing things for my heart, but I wasn't ready to give up taste. Sometimes sacrifice is the name of the game.
Well, I've heard eating whole grain oats can help lower my cholesterol. It's going to be a challenge.
Sure, we want to lower our cholesterol, but let's be real. Being healthy is tough.
Yeah.
Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
Be happy, be healthy.
Try Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. Baked in apple with a daring amount of cinnamon.
How can a dinner this informal be this romantic? And how can a beer this full flavored be just 99 calories? Budweiser Select, the exception to the rule.
Home opener, 2009. Cubs are 4-2. And they lead 3-0 over the Rockies. A couple of changes for the Rockies on defense. As Reed Johnson leads off against Glendon Rush. Seth Smith's now into play left. And that pushes Ryan Spilborghs over to right. So Brad Hopp is out. Took a call third. So we start the top of the fifth. He didn't get kicked out, did he? I didn't see the thumb.
I
from the home
don't believe
plate
so,
umpire.
but we'll try to find out for sure.
Count even at 2 apiece. High drive, left center, not going to carry on a day like this. It's Dexter Fowler, the center fielder, 1 out. Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Got the ballpark ready to go. The weather didn't really cooperate, but Roger Baird and the Cubs grounds crew got this field ready in a hurry after a rain delay of over an hour. A lot of water, but it drained quickly. That's today's Have a Ball, thanks to the Illinois Lottery. Aaron Miles batting righty for the first time, and also batting without the bases loaded for the first time.
The biggest roar of the day we've heard so far was not when the Cubs pushed across their first run or their second or their third for that matter. It's when the grounds crew came out to take the tarp off the field.
Left center for Miles. That'll be his first hit. He's 1 for 3. And it's his first hit of the season. He's 1 for 6 as a Cub. A little slip out there by Fowler.
Yeah, a little jam shot there. Fastball up and in from Glendon Rush. And Miles fights it off into the gap in left center. There's the slip by Fowler, but quickly got to his feet and held Aaron Miles to a single.
Hill with a bases loaded walk and then a single and a run. Coy got hit by a pitch on the little toe on his right foot in Milwaukee, and they actually cut out part of the shoe to relieve the pressure. Looks like he has a normal shoe today. If you cut it out today, you'd have a wet foot. That's a base hit. Miles jumped over the ball, and he can only get the second after navigating around that hot shot. Hill's 2 for 2.
A slashing swing that time from Coy Hill. Brought his hands in close to his body. There you see Aaron Miles had to leap over that line drive, and that held him up just long enough that he wasn't able to advance first to third on that base hit to right field.
Nobody loosening in the Rocky bullpen, but they're getting stretched out. They all still have the heavy jackets on, but nobody throwing. Heavy jackets On the rooftops, too.
Nobody warming up over there either.
Oh, I think they are in their own special way. And Lilly, rather, Rush will step off. Lilly squaring the bunt already. Tulowitzki's going to chat with Glendon.
A lot of talk, a lot of signs going on out there in the middle of that Rockies infield. Garrett Atkin comes over from his third base position to flash the signs for the bunt defense that the Rockies will run here.
Bunt goes to third, and Atkins will throw to first to get Lilly. A sacrifice.
Oh, perfectly executed. If you don't see that shortstop breaking for third base, which indicates a wheel play, your job is to bunt the ball hard to the third baseman, make him come in and make the play. Perfectly done that time by Ted Lilly. Now, if you see the shortstop break toward third base, that indicates that the wheel play is on and the third baseman is going to be charging. And most teams give the pitcher the option to go ahead and swing away if they see the wheel play. But that time, Ted Lilly saw Tulowitzki hold his position in the middle of the field and bunt it perfectly down that third baseline.
They will intentionally walk Alfonso Soriano, who reached a milestone with his first inning single, his 1,400th Major League hit. I want to wish a happy birthday today to big Cubs fan, our good friend Mary Claire Borgeli. Also, Cubs want to wish a happy birthday to coordinator of baseball operations for the Cubs, Alex Suarez. Thanks to Mary Claire, Michael Yerke, and everyone at House of Blues for all their help with the third annual Len and Bob Bash for Cubs charities. Bud Light and the Cubs, we had a great time in January. Raised a lot of money for charity. Bases loaded for Ryan Theriot. Ball one. 7 walks taken by the Cubs. The last one was intentional. The pitch. 1-1. Infield pop, and Rush is going to have to take this one by himself to end the threat. The Cubs leave him loaded for the third time today, but they lead the ball game behind Ted Lilly, 3-0.
World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, 1-hour show. Expect action, expect drama, expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America.
This is the Civic Value Package, and there's a good reason we call it that. The Civic has a lower true cost of ownership than its competition, and that can help save you money down the road on things like insurance and maintenance. Plus, it's remarkably fuel efficient. Add in the fact you can get it for $149 a month. The name Value Package just makes a lot of sense. Both kinds. Go to Edmunds.com for an independent report on the true cost to own a Civic. And then see your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
Hi. What can I get for $1? That's yours. How far can I get with this? You can get out. How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow. Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Do you two want to sit together?
No, that's just the money I could be saving with Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. It's the money you could be saving with Geico. You were made for each other. You like money, he likes money. well, he is money. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This Sunday, April 19th, is 7-Eleven Day at Wrigley Field as the Cubs battle the Cardinals at 7:05. Throughout the game, great prizes will be awarded to lucky fans in random seats. Compliments of 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven.
Ted Lilly with the gem through 5. Iannetta the catcher, then a pinch hitter for Rush. It'll be Clint Barmas, followed by the center fielder Dexter Fowler. Here we go in the 6th. Called strike. It's 10 out of 17 first pitch strikes for Lilly. Slow curve. And
where was the pitch?
Iannetta held up.
Ball was all over the strike zone. Big breaking bender. It's going to end up down around the knees, possibly a little below. We'll show you in a moment. That was a case where the pitch not only fooled the hitter, it might have fooled the home plate umpire Andy Fletcher. Ball crosses the front of the plate above the knees. It's all over the white part of the plate.
Called strike 3.
Low fastball. His location has been so much better today with his heater, with the exception of those couple times he's tried to go in on right-handed hitters and didn't get it quite far enough. But keeping the ball down, keeping the ball on the corners of the plate.